Welcome to the Open Job Pink Couch. Our guest today is Dan Langevin, and we are going to talk about booking patterns. Dan, we hear so many different anecdotes out in the marketplace for this past season. Low dollar, soft winter. Some people say it's terrible, some people say it's better, but you've got your finger on the pulse. What's going on out there?
Well, it's a good question. There's been an awful lot going on. If we go back to October, November, December, the booking trends were high. I mean, we were ahead of last year.
Right.
To me, I think that the tour operators have done a tremendous job with the early booking bonuses, and the travel agency community have embraced these specials, and they're communicating this very well with their customers, and customers are taking advantage of it.
So you saw that the EBBs early on in the fall were really working and pushing bookings.
Really working, really working.
It was above last year?
It was above last year, definitely.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then unfortunately, typically for us, we see the big bookings start to come early January. And, that's when most of the season gets booked in the first 45 days of the new year. This year it didn't happen. Unfortunately, I think we had the perfect storm.
Yeah.
We had a bit of problems with the stock market. We had issues with Zika. We had issues with the weather being so mild, throughout Eastern Canada. And of course, we can't forget the mighty US dollar.
Yeah.
And I think people were sitting tight a little bit and waiting, because we could see a lot of shoppers on our databases, but the bookings never came,
And now in February and early March, are you seeing it come back again?
Finally.
Okay.
Mid-January, we were down, almost 10, 11, some days 12%
Wow.
compared to last year, and that's significant.
No kidding.
So if we were experiencing it, obviously the retailers and the tour operators were experiencing it. However, now, here we are, on the 22nd of March, and, we're back to even again. And
Okay.
It was very interesting to see. I think everything is settling down.
Now, this is the booking patterns, but let's talk a little bit also about the pricing that's out in the marketplace. Are the tour operators holding their prices as a result still of the lower bookings? You'd think that they'd be dropping, but is that happening?
You would think so. It has changed an awful lot over the past few years. There's less discounting out there. And before, the tour operators, what they were doing is the early booking bonuses tend to be high. And as you got closer to the booking date, panic set in a little bit. And, sometimes they were dropping their prices to make sure the airplanes were going out full.
Right, of course.
Right now, the trend has changed where at the beginning of the booking curve, they're giving away good incentives so that the booking takes place now, and the prices are slowly increasing. And it was amazing to me this year that, when we were down in bookings, the prices did not go down that much. A couple places here and there, but overall, it remained pretty steady.
Dan, that's incredibly unusual to hear you say that the tour operators have maintained that kind of discipline, because this is something that's been going on for decades, right, in the market. Everybody's saying, why can't they maintain the discipline to keep the pricing up? And certainly I've heard Jean-Marc Eustache talk about that in his year-end. But so you're saying now that's happening? Why? What's changed?
I think they see the shoppers are still there. And, when you have a look-to-book ratio of this, and for a while it's like this, that eventually it will get closer together. And I just think they did a fantastic job.
Wow.
Because, at the end of the day, the retailer made more money. They didn't have to do as many transactions probably and maintain good margins. And the same thing goes for the tour operators. So it was a win-win for everybody.
Interesting. Now, you at Softvoyage have been busy.
Yes.
So besides the ITC market, you now are offering so many different opportunities for agents to book, and you're about to launch a cruise booking engine. Tell me about
Correct.
that.
Well, we took it upon ourselves about 18 months ago to create our own cruise booking engine, and that's a big endeavor. I mean, we have to do all these direct connections with the various cruise lines. We've been talking about this for a while internally at Softvoyage, but we felt the timing was right now. So we could have used other third-party providers of cruise, but we decided no. I mean, we like to do our own things internally at Softvoyage. So in CREV right now, agents can see all kinds of cruises being available with air or without air. We continue obviously to sell cruises as a package from companies like Transat, Sunwing, and Encore Cruises. But the agent now have a choice. They can either sell what I like to call a dry cruise, or they can sell it as a package. And over the next few weeks, you're going to see more and more companies being added. And yeah, it's been a good ride. We're very happy about it.
So you are now going to be competing with RevelX, is that correct? Because I know a lot of people use RevelX. And what is the advantage to what you're launching versus RevelX?
Well, it's a newer booking engine in our view, right? I mean, it's just completed, so we're using the latest responsive technology that is available out there. Once we have launched with the retailers, meaning InSerev, then we'll be packaging it up, if you will, to be selling to our online travel agencies, so they can, in return, sell it directly to the consumers. And we're preparing a great API, and yeah, the demand's already there. We're just not quite ready yet. Yeah.
Talk to me about your opportunities in North America, because of course you're now you're growing in the States, right?
We are.
What do you see in terms of the difference in the States versus Canada in your end of the business?
Well, the Canadian market is very much an ITC type of market. The Americans is completely different. I mean, Americans, the tour operators even, for the most part, they use skid air. So they're combining a skid carrier with land to create a package on the fly. And the opportunity for us has been that if we can find a way to use the scheduled carriers and the land with these various tour operators and create a massive database so that travel agents can shop in one spot, all the players, that would be key. And then this has been an opportunity that we've been exploring for the past couple of years. Yeah.
So Europe is next?
Well, we're going to try to finish what we're doing in the U.S. and then Europe. We'll see after. Yeah, one thing at a time.
One thing at a time.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming in today and bringing us up to speed. Lots going on. Fascinating.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Nina. It's always good to be here on the pink couch.